Corvettes, terrible. Destroyers, awful. Cruisers, don't even get me started. Battleships, more like ew. Titans, no. Just no. Introducing the brand new spanking awesome Juggernaut. Now, we've spoken about the Juggernaut in the past, basically when Federations was first announced. Everybody was like, oh man, there's this big new-ass shiny ship, it's massive, it's got a lot of guns on it. Well, today we're going to actually go a little bit more in depth about it and what it does, what it doesn't, and more importantly, how it is used within the context of Stellaris. Now, first of all, you can only build one. That's it. You can only build one. It needs to come out of a Colossal Shipyard. It's very similar to the Colossus in that part, except it comes out of tech, not an Ascension perk. So the Colossus got a 1-up on that one. So that is nice. Also, it's got a couple of guns. It's not particularly crazy. It's got 2 XL beams. They're not spinal mounted, so the ship doesn't need to turn in order to shoot at the enemy. They're on turrets. It kind of makes me wonder why there is no XL sizes on stations now, considering the Juggernaut is here. And yeah, it also has 6 bomber slots. So assault craft, there are 6 of them. You can put those on there as well. A couple of medium guns, 5 slots in total. So there you have it, a Juggernaut. Is it stronger than a battleship? Yes, it is. But it will get overwhelmed pretty quickly because this is definitely a fleet capital ship, as in a command ship, a fleet carrier, a flagship. That's right. So that's what this is. You will never fly this bad boy around without any support whatsoever. It's a really, really bad idea. It's big. It's a strategic target. It's basically the same as a Schwer Gustav railway gun during World War II. The enemy will want to kill it, and I wouldn't be surprised that you will lose a lot of war score if you lose one of these here bad boys. So why would you want to build one of these, you ask? Well, there's a couple of cool features that it has. Mainly, it's aura effects. Aura effects, ASpec. What are those? Well, if you've been playing with Apocalypse and Titans, then you will know what aura effects are. Of course, if you've played some of the older versions of the games, battleships used to have them as well. But then again, battleships used to have 5 or 6 large laser guns, i.e. what is these days the XL weapons. So, what kind of auras do we have? We've got Strike Command. What does it do? It gives you plus 20% to strike craft, damage, and speed. It's terrible. I don't like it. It's unless strike craft are objectively better than anything else in the game, this is not going to be all that great. All you need to do is get a bunch of flak cannons, and any strike craft are going to get annihilated very quickly. So, not keen on this one. Target acquisition. Now we're talking. Let me have a sip of my beverage here. That's the good stuff. Thank you, Spiff, for sending me that Yorkshire tea. Target acquisition, what does it do? It increases your weapon range for all ships within range, as long as they're allies, by 40%. Now, what does that mean? It means that your ships will be able to shoot faster. Well, not so much faster, as long they will be able to shoot enemies in ranges that the enemy can't shoot back, which effectively means that you can shoot more before they even get closer. And especially in war environments where there's high amounts of ships going for evasive actions and stuff like that, this is going to be incredibly useful, especially in combination with some of the aura effects of Titans. Yes, you should probably be able to put a Titan or 2 in a fleet with the Juggernaut for massive, ridiculous amounts of aura effects on all your ships. So yeah, there you have it. Ship damage range, or ship weapons range by 40%. Probably my favorite of the bunch. It's only the second one on the list though. Well, there's more. Alright, Subspace Amplifier. What does it do? It reduces, it's a reduction of 40% in the following categories: hyper jump charge time, hyper jump cooldown, and jump drive cooldown. What does it mean? It means that you'll be able to move from system to system a lot quicker. Now, the Juggernaut itself is probably slow as hell, so it's gonna need that charge time on the hyper jump stuff, but the jump drive cooldown is actually quite significant. Minus 40% is actually kind of huge, especially if you consider that normally it's 200 days, and then you basically have half sublight speed, you've got half your weapon modifiers, which basically means that 120 days instead of 200, you will have that malice on you. That effectively makes This type of ship, extremely slippery. Personally, I would have made it 60, a little bit better. Of course, final numbers aren't final numbers, but you get the general idea. ECM emitters. It's a hostile offensive aura. It reduces... Jesus Christ. Alright, well, this one definitely is not going to make it to ASpec's favorite items to put on a ship. It reduces point defense damage and firing rate by 30%. Oh boy. How delightful. Okay. Then we got the munitions plant, defensive aura, effect on allied ships, orbital bombardment damage, plus 30%. Now, of course, if you've got apocalyptic bombardment, it means that you can go completely ham with this and turn every single planet in the galaxy into a barren wasteland in no time flat. But overall, why would you do this? Sure, you can bombard and stuff like that, but only in the very, very late game are there thousands upon thousands of enemies on planets, and usually those are only Fallen Empire worlds. So unless Federations is going to add ridiculous amounts of troops to worlds, then I doubt munition plant is going to be useful at all. The Juggernaut, as I mentioned, is going to be unlockable through the tech tree rather than through Ascension's perk, which makes perfect sense in my book. And yeah, it has a couple of cool features. Now, aside from all of these aura effects and weapons, it has something else as well. It is also a mobile starbase. Now, it does not have starbase modules. It does have 2 shipyards. It doesn't say up till what size, so I'm gonna guess battleships, considering Titans and Juggernauts themselves. It's not a friggin' von Neumann machine that can just construct another one of itself. Oh, that would be awesome, though. I'm guessing you'll be able to just construct battleships inside of it. And it has 2 shipyards inside, which is nice, you know, especially if you're building battleships on the front line. It takes forever for them to get anywhere, and you can heal your fleet. But then again, wouldn't you just want to, I don't know, capture an enemy station? Do it that way? You really want to invest massive amounts of resources into a Juggernaut? Unless there's events attached to it and it gives more like political power or something along those lines. That'd be nice. But overall, I just don't really see a reason at the moment to build it. Just build more ships that are faster and objectively have more firepower and can take stations to refit instead of doing this. Still, though, it's a cool concept. Of course, once the game comes out, or at least once Federation comes out, we'll dive a little bit deeper into the concept of Juggernauts and see if they're actually worth the investment. What else do we have? Mega Shipyard. It wouldn't be in a Stellaris expansion without any mega structures, wouldn't it? Well, you say that. Ancient Relics. Don't think it had any mega structures, did it? Not that I can remember. Distant Stars. Didn't have any. But still, you know, Federation's a big expansion. It means they're going to need to add big stuff. And oh my lord, are they going to add a big thing. Introducing the Mega Shipyard. Now, what does the Mega Shipyard do? Well, I don't know. Maybe, hold on. Let me check the word naming here. Mega Shipyard. Alright, so this thing craps out ships like no tomorrow. I'm not even kidding how fast this, how fast this thing craps out ships. So what does it do? Well, first of all, at its base version, it gives you 100 starting XP for every single ship you build in your empire. And also, every single ship that is being built in your empire is built 33% faster than it was before. It's like everybody in those shipyards, they're now on cocaine. They gotta build that stuff as fast as they possibly can because, oh boy, do they feel energized right now. It also gives you 10 additional shipyards, which is nice. But that's just the starting version of it. Then there's the core version, the middle version. Gives you 20 shipyards. Empire bonus of 66% ship build speed and 100 ship starting experience. Nobody cares about the starting experience for ships, by the way. It's not a very well developed system. But yeah, 20 shipyards extra. May I remind you that a standard shipyard on a Star Fortress has a maximum of 6. This bad boy has 20. It's probably like 10,000 alloys or 5,000 alloys to upgrade it. We don't know yet. Final numbers aren't final. But that's not even its final form. No, you're going to have to stand back and let it transform so you can throw a giant spirit bomb at it. And there's a Dragon Ball Z and a reference for you and a half. The Mega Shipyard final version, its final form, not only has 30 shipyards on it, it also improves Empire build speed for ships by 100%. It also increases ship starting XP by 100. That one stays static the entire time. So ASpec, what does this mean? It means that 30 shipyards building at twice the speed effectively means 60 shipyards. You can crap out a 120 fleet power Corvette fleet in under 2 years. Probably a year if you're doing it right. My lord, can you imagine putting this bad boy somewhere near a gateway and you put another gateway in, say, I don't know, the L cluster, and then you use the L gates? You can just reinforce till the end of time. Of course, you're gonna need at least 2 Ecumonopolae to upkeep the sheer amount of alloys that you're gonna need to keep this bad boy up and running. Dyson Sphere, you're gonna need a stellar decompressor just to get the resources to keep this bad boy maxed out at all times. That is one ridiculous mega structure. And even in combination with, say, the Strategic Coordination Center, it's just insane. It's just so good. The Mega Shipyard is very rapidly becoming my favorite mega structure in the game, and I don't even own the expansion yet. Or I've played it a little bit during PDXCon, and that was it. But my lord, the Mega Shipyard is so insanely good. It's not even funny. It's just so good. Anyway, we're gonna go and wrap this one up here. If you got any opinions about the Mega Shipyard, or of course the Juggernaut, put it down below. I'm really curious what you feel the Juggernaut would be good for. Because right now, I don't really see a strategic reason to build a Juggernaut, aside from maybe its aura effects. And so far, they've been fairly underwhelming. Bar 1, which is the targeting acquisition array, which increases range on any ship within. But still, yeah, it's a cool concept. I just don't feel that the constant, what's the word I'm looking for here? Proliferation of weapon systems in this eternal arms race of building bigger and better ships is a good idea. Let's put it that way. I'd rather do more events and stuff like that. But speaking of which, I'm gonna go and prepare a little script. Why? Because I'm gonna theory craft my own expansion. Because it ain't coming out in December, and I need content. So keep your eyes on the channel. We're gonna be talking more about Stellaris in the very near future when it comes to why it is fun, why it is good, and how, in my opinion, it would get a lot better. Gonna wrap it up here. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take good care of yourselves, and as always, each other.